Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Conservative Circle. And last week we talked a little bit about, well, we started a series or two parts to, the war in Iran involving the U.S., Iran, and Israel. And last week we talked about, well, the money behind it and, just a few things there. And today we're talking about Israel's role in this conflict. So, before we start, let me grab my coffee.
Whoa, what is that you have there?
Well, so this is a Freedom Uncensored cup. I I actually don't have coffee in it because if I had hot coffee in it, it would be white. But now you see it's back to its natural color. Um,
Hmm,
so
maybe you should put some coffee in it during the commercial break.
I know, right? I don't think I would have time.
Oof.
But if you haven't already, you should check out my reel on Instagram where I actually posted it. I just got it yesterday and made the video today. Um, but let's go ahead and get started. Jared, thanks for being here.
Always a
Lily
pleasure.
could not, yeah, Lily could not be here today. Yeah, let's go ahead and start. So Israel's role in this conflict. Now let's talk about Israel because they
Right.
play a major role here. Well, Israel was the one that intentionally struck Iran, and the U.S. then stepped in afterward. So, are we defending America or are we backing allies' war? Jared,
Yes, sir.
are we defending America by striking Iran by taking out the you know what? I can't even say his name. Ayatollah,
Ayatollah?
Ayatollah, whatever.
Hmm.
Can't even say his name. It's crazy. Uh, but is that defending America? Because there's been things that's been going around saying that there was an imminent threat. Was there?
Are Israeli citizens American citizens?
No.
Then last time I checked, we're not defending no American citizens.
Great. So, but was there an imminent threat? Do you think there was an imminent threat?
Look, I think that in the last 2 weeks, we saw that during the Oscars week, Iran did send a drone, and they made it very clear that a drone was in California and around Los Angeles. Um, Up to now, we don't know what happened with that drone. We don't know if it exploded. We don't know if it flew away, if it's still in the air. It's like it's a ghost. Nobody knows what's going on with that. Nobody wants to bring it up anymore. It's like it disappeared. And I genuinely think that if Iran had the capability to be sending a drone from all the way in the Middle East to California, they have some pretty high level technology to be able to be doing that. It's not every day that the Middle East can be sending a drone all the way to the west coast of the United States. We don't know if it was packed with a missile or we don't know what's going on there. Um, I do think they do have some weapon development that we don't know about. Same thing like back when Cuba had missiles. Um, but I don't think that they were prioritizing the United States as a first target for war. And I don't think that we were even in the radar before coming into Israel. I think they know it, we know it. One of the biggest mistakes we could have done was go to war in the Middle East.
Yeah, so a lot of people are opposing this war. Um, Mostly, like a lot of course, left-leaning people because, they'll disagree with everything that President Trump does. I think he could he could save a kid from getting eaten by a shark, and they would be like, "Huh, he's starving the sharks," and they would oppose that. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
So we've already sent tens of billions of dollars in military aid to Israel. Now, I'm not talking about just for this war, but in recent years. So let's see, like Hamas in Gaza,
Right.
October 7th,
Perfect.
2023.
Perfect.
we all know what happened there.
Exactly.
Okay, so this
I was
is
gonna say that actually. Yeah, that's a perfect example.
yeah. Actually, go on. What did you want to say?
October 7th. Yeah. So what year was it? 2023.
Twenty
Um,
twenty three.
yeah. So perfect example. That was a problem that the Middle East had in the Middle East. That was something that was between Israel and uh what was it, Gaza? Who's in charge of Gaza? Was it Hamas? Yeah, I was gonna say Hezbollah, but that's old. Um Hamas, yeah, and they were going for the Gaza Strip. And what happened? I don't think we intervened. I don't think we put troops in the Gaza Strip, but we saw that it was a war that was only between Israel and Hamas. And a lot of people kept saying the United States should interfere and we should protect the Gaza Strip, free Gaza. Um, but in the same way that that war happened because of the attacks that happened October 7th, and it stayed in the Middle East. Same thing with this war. It happened in the Middle East. We know what happened. It should have stayed in the Middle East. There's no reason why we should have intervened.
Yeah. So if Israel had not struck first, would we be in this war?
Well, there's two standpoints to that. I mean, we could look at it from a biblical standpoint or we could look at it from a political standpoint. The political standpoint that is the cover up is the oil reserves, saying that all the oil that's in the Middle East with the Saudi Arabians, the Iraqis, the Iranians, and Israel, all of that between the river that I forget what it's called, the transport part, the
Mm-hmm.
Mediterranean. I think, no, I don't think it's that one. But either way, um, I think something still would have happened just because oil means politics and politics and oil equal money. Um, I think that people would have voted against something in the Middle East to prevent it. Probably not, because voting isn't really what they're known for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if we're looking at it from a religious standpoint, I mean, it says in the end times that we're going to hear about wars in the Middle East, and that, you know, at the end of the day, people don't fight in the Middle East for land, they fight for Jerusalem. And if we look at what's going on between Israel and what's this other place, Iran, we're not seeing them go for Israel. We're not seeing any action in Israel. I think the reason is because they're trying to protect Israel, and one of them is going to try and conquer Jerusalem, because we've only seen them target Tel Aviv, and it says that Jerusalem's the Holy Land, and we haven't seen any action over there. So I think either one, both of them are religious countries. They're going to try and go for Jerusalem. And two, they're using politics with oil and all of this for resources and as a cover up for the honest background of what they're trying to get away with.
Yeah. One thing I find so interesting about Israel is that the United States, our leaders, like the people in the White House, they really do bow down to Israel. And I'm not talking about APAC money. I'm talking about. I mean, have you seen Paula White? She is the
Right.
yeah, the pastor. Don't think women really can preach. But whatever. It's crazy because they bow down to Israel way too much. And you know what? What's crazy is Israel is not even a Christian country.
Right.
It's not. No, I'm not hating on Israel right now. I'm just stating the fact there. Okay? Um like let me just say this. Yes, I'm against the Holocaust. That was a tragedy. I am against that. I am against genocide. It's wrong.
Preach.
But they're not even a Christian country, and we bow down to them so much.
Yeah.
Where in the Bible does it actually say to support Israel? Does Genesis 3 even talk about supporting Israel? Jared?
I think that's a really good point. Um, I've heard it a lot of times. People say, well, as a Christians, our duty is to fund and support Israel at all costs. If it's a war that's going on, if it's a genocide, it's God's will. I think not. Um, I've never heard or read in the Bible where it says, "Blessed are those who bless Israel." I've only heard, "Blessed are those who bless Jerusalem," because Jerusalem is is the promised land. Um, and the promised land, it doesn't even say on earth. It says that um, the promised land for us is going to be the kingdom of God. That's our Jerusalem. Um, and I think praying over the Israeli people for the Jews, I think that's important. I think that we should pray that someday they do accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, because they're still waiting for the Messiah to come. Um, but I just don't think that people in Congress, people who are Christians, should be prioritizing Israel as, let's give it all for them, and let's give up our lives, and let's give up our doctrine, and let's give up our tax dollars to fund a country that doesn't even share the same values, culture, or are people like us who identify like us and are a country that we live in.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. All right, we will be right back after this short break. Do you love freedom and hate censorship? Well, if that's you, you need some Freedom Uncensored merch. Go to Freedom Uncensored and you can get 25% off by using promo code AMERICA. That's promo code AMERICA for 25% off. So, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
So, go buy some Freedom Uncensored merch. So, if you could see in that video, yeah, I'm a time traveler, guys, okay?
Whoa.
Like, that was actually back in 2001, guys. So, 25 years ago, guys. So, anyways, I'm here now. Jared, talk about your merch. You just launched your merch. Talk about it a little bit.
So Freedom Uncensored, my company. Freedom Uncensored isn't a company where I would say we're Republican, we're Democrats, we're liberals, we're conservatives. Freedom Uncensored is a company that's American. It's not Republican, it's American. That's our slogan for now. It's the idea that, if we had presidents right now like Ronald Reagan, JFK. I mean, a lot of people hate Reaganomics. I think he was a Democrat, right? JFK was a Democrat. These guys, these were like leading the founding fathers of the 21st century because of what they brought on. I am a strong believer of the American dream. And I think that the American dream means, like Ronald Reagan said, the only place where you can go and be something that you're not from birth is America. America is the only country that you can go and be an American. That is the American dream. I have very different opinions on that. I think my opinions on immigration are different. I am still a strong believer of amnesty, just because I believe that a population of immigrants do benefit America in multiple ways. But I am also a realist. I believe that we need strong borders, and I believe that we need ICE. I believe that our Constitution allows us to protect our people from people that aren't registered in our system. And Freedom Uncensored is what America First should be. No matter if you're American or Democrat or Republican, we should be able to put our differences aside when there's a good idea, and we're putting our American citizens first and America first, and be able to side with one another when there is something that benefits both of us and all of us. And that is what being America First should be. America First should not be, I'm America First, so I should be a Republican. No, America First should be, you're an American. And Freedom Uncensored is not Republican, it's American. So that's what I have to say for that.
Yeah, I think right now we're just in this society that's like, okay, so if you're a Democrat, you're a bad person, you're a horrible person. If you're a Republican, you're a bad person, you're a horrible person. But, I mean, let's kind of go back to how the ways were. I mean, come on.
Right.
So, let's go ahead and move on. Is this going to be another long war? Who would be opposing this war right now?
Oh,
actually, I'm gonna actually play you a clip. This is Charlie Kirk on the war. in Iran. This was, of course, back in 2025. He was what? Do you think he was opposing this war? Let's watch the video.
I am always skeptical of military intervention. And when a lot of the sometimes warmongering wing gets too excited, you don't know, actually. You need to have a lot of humility. You do not know how things are going to work out. It is impossible. But I can say concretely, here's where I stand and where the MAGA base stands. We do not want U.S. boots on the ground. We do not want American kinetic involvement. This is Israel's war. This is Israel's self-determination in play. And with that, we welcome Josh Hammer from Newsweek.
So yeah, he was opposing this war. This is him saying that, MAGA does not support this war. But we're totally seeing the opposite right now.
Right.
Let's look at his post. Look at the post that he said. So it's just crazy. And right now, let's look at a Fox News poll. A Fox News poll is showing Trump with a 59% disapproval rating and a 41% approval rating. What do you make of this?
Honestly, it's not that surprising. I don't think all of it is because of the war. I think a lot of it has to do with the promises he said starting his campaign. He said he was going to do mass deportations. He said our economy was going to be the best. He said you're going to be winning and you're going to be begging. It's too much winning. I can't stop winning. Gas prices that are at an all-time high. Affordability is non-existing. Immigrants are still coming across. We have immigrants who have not been deported who are rapists and who are serial killers. I just don't see the administration living up to what they promised, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why the disapproval rate is so high, apart from just the war and apart from not prioritizing the citizens that he said from his presidency that he would do during this administration in this term.
Do you think we're into a forever war? Do you think that's what we are in, or do you think we're getting out?
It's hard to tell. We thought that we were going to be in a forever war with Cuba as well, and we're out of that. We thought that we were going to be in a forever, what is it called, a cartel war with El Salvador, and they had an amazing president that fixed the issue with that. We have now one of the best relationships with El Salvador. Afghanistan, done. Hezbollah, done. I think, if anything, the closest thing we have to a forever war right now is Ukraine and Russia. But although we did get involved for a brief period, it's not like it affected us long term. And I think that there is going to be an endpoint to this, but it's just going to be really messy.
Yeah. Well, what's the exit strategy?
Bomb it all.
Bomb it all.
People hate to hear it, but Israel's not going to listen to us. Netanyahu's going to want to follow his agenda. Iran is probably never going to attempt to surrender. And the oil is going to affect not only us, but everybody. Everybody depends on that oil. Our dollar value is going to hop a lot. We're going to become one of the poorest countries if we don't do anything to restructure the sale of all of that oil. If we don't, open the, refineries in the United States, we're going to be really screwed. And Elon Musk is putting in new electric cars that, electric cars, I think, realistically cause more pollution than gas. So that's going to screw up our environment a lot more, which is going to affect Florida if they put, more factories over there. So it's a whole circle. It's a whole circle that affects everybody just in one war. And I think a lot of nations, a lot of countries are going to realize that fast and quick. And everybody's going to ask, stop the war. This isn't going to be a war like Russia and Ukraine, because Ukraine doesn't really bring any value to the rest of the world, unlike us. But this is the Middle East. This is where, it's the land of war. It's the land where it's um, the best for your survival. So I think, honestly, more people are going to want to jump into this war and get it fixed as soon as possible the moment it starts a chain reaction.
Yeah, I mean, we're already seeing rising oil prices, inflation, economic instability, and all tied to the Middle East conflicts.
Right.
Gas here now is, living in Florida, kind of lucky. But our prices are actually going up, especially right now. Gas is at I think I saw 360 yesterday. So that's crazy for here in Florida. I know that in California, you said last week it's $8. I'm like, that's
Well, the
crazy.
highest it is $8, but still, like the average, any gas station you go to right now, like no less than $6. $8 probably for like the premium and everything, but minimum $6 for a gallon. It's insane.
That is very insane. All right. We'll be right back after this short little break. Want to help Conservative Circle grow? Well, you can do that by scanning the QR code that you see on the screen. All donations are greatly appreciated. This goes to help get new equipment and grow the podcast even bigger. Now, let's get back to the episode. All right. So, we've kind of uncovered, is this really protecting America, which what do you think? Is this a protecting America?
Heck no.
No, we're seeing rising cost, crazy. But yeah, it's not. So let's go ahead and get ready to close out here. Are we repeating history? Or is this different?
That's something I ask myself a lot. Historically, the saying, history repeats itself. I think naturally it's a repetition of what we have experienced. This isn't something, I mean, like, think about it like this. We went through the Black Plague. We went through COVID. We went through the recession of 2007. We went through a recession like in 2022. We had the Christian Crusades, and now we're having the Christian Crusades in the Congo. Everything at some point has a mirage of what has happened. And I think that what we're seeing right now, the closest thing probably is going to be the war between Russia and Ukraine, just because of the size. I wouldn't say it's something like World War II, just because it's not at that category where all of us are involved, but we are losing American soldiers. It is something that we have seen before, and I do think that history repeats itself. But I also do think that somebody's going to mess up and somebody's going to slip, and one or the other is going to have to win, and it's going to be a very, very, very sad ending, no matter if somebody wins.
Yeah, that's right. We are sending our men and women to die for Israel, to die, for this war. It's crazy. We all have people in our life that we know, maybe in the military. Don't know if you do. That are just going and, for this war.
All right.
Well, closing remarks. Any closing remarks? Because I know last week I cut you off. You had more stuff to talk about, guys.
No, it's fine. I think I just like to say that what we're seeing right now, it's not what it appears. Nobody knew that Tel Aviv was actually being attacked. Nobody was announcing it until a week after. It was hard to hide. All the information we have right now is not in the moment. Everything is being covered up. Everything is being told secretly between one another. Iran is talking to Israel directly. It's not like they're not talking at all. the United States does have a 2030 agenda for this. It's not something that, where we got into it because of any reason. It is because of contracts legislator and the 2030 agenda. And I think that we're really going to see a change between Netanyahu and Israel from this war. We're going to see a change in the United States political Department of War section. We're going to see an uprising of protests, and it's going to be bad. It's not just going to be riots, it's going to be insane. We're going to see a lot of sleeper agents come out just to distract us. And it's going to be like messy. Like TikTok is going to be showing fake news, Twitter is going to be AI, Instagram is going to be like made up stuff.
Which we already have fake news.
Right. But it's going to be
everywhere.
worse. Like every 10 minutes, you're saying Netanyahu's dead, Netanyahu's dead. And it's like,
I know. I saw that. I
So
was
it's
like, I don't think he's dead, guys. No, he's not dead, guys. We know
and
he's
it's
alive.
official accounts. So it's like nobody knows what's going on. We're not going to know what's going to go on until 5 years from now. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears listening, do your
And
deep
read your
dive,
Bible.
do your deep information, like really look into it. Don't just believe everything you see. And really look into your Bible. Really look into Apocalypse and Revelation. This isn't just a war
Look in
of politics.
Revelation.
It's a religious war. It's a spiritual war. It's like Charlie said. Iran and Israel both are religious countries. Both have their own personal agenda. They're the Middle East. They don't fight the same way that we do.
Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching today. It's so great to have Jared on. So great to just do this little series on Iran, but also not really at the same time. But anyways, God bless you. God bless everyone. I hope you have a great week. Go be strong. Thank you so much for watching.
Stay uncensored.
Stay uncensored, guys.
Laters.
God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.